Hi, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Renai. If you guys don't know, my channel used to have more videos on here, but I really didn't like how things looked, so I just deleted it all and decided I would come back when I was ready to come back. And I'm ready now. So let's just jump right into it. Today's video is about reading on a budget. The reason I wanted to make this video was simply because I feel like a lot of people on any side of the internet, rather it be makeup, rather it be books, rather it be gaming, doesn't matter. There's a lot of overconsumption to the point where it is a waste, especially with books. Like, we are wasting paper, bad for the environment. We are not only wasting paper, we're wasting our own paper, aka cash. I'm seeing so many people buy multiple books and they don't even want to read those books. They just like how they look on their bookshelf. And quite honestly, I get it. We want things to look pretty, want things to look nice. But it gets to the point where it's like, if you are spending hundreds, thousands of dollars on books, you can barely pay for the things that you need, like necessities. There's clearly a problem and you need to stop. I feel like Book Talk, BookTube, has really made overconsumption of books like something trendy and cute, and it's not. It's really not. So here are my 5 tips for staying within a book budget in the lighting. Number 1, go to the library. Okay, very easy, very simple. You might be like, oh, I don't have a library near me. There's another thing you can do, which I will get to, but first let's just stay on topic. Number 1, go to the library. The library has so many books there. Okay, you want to read a book by, I don't know, Colleen Hoover, but you're on the fence about Colleen Hoover? Me too. Go to the library, check out a Colleen Hoover book. Guess what? You spent no money on that book. So if you hate it, you don't have to go through the walk of shame or the drive of shame up to Barnes & Noble to return it. And I know some people don't like returning books, which is understandable. So you don't have to keep that book or give that book to someone else and be like, I hope you like it. Just go to the library, okay? Not only that, support your local library. There's so many things happening with libraries, like people trying to shut them down. What else is happening? I'm sorry, I haven't really been watching the news a lot. Just so many things have been happening to libraries, right? And the lighting is changing it, but we're just going to ignore it. So many things have been happening to libraries. Librarians aren't being treated with the respect they deserve. Literally, visit your local library. There's so many things there. There's books, there's resources, all of that. It's a magical place for the community, okay? Also, you save a lot of money borrowing books versus buying those books. You can just go borrow a book instead of buying a book that you know you're not gonna like. Or even if you do like the book, you can still go borrow it. And then you can determine if you want to go buy an actual copy of it. Well, not an actual copy, but your own copy of it. Next one, Hoopla and Libby. Or just the Overdrive, or just overdrive.com in general. Hoopla and Libby, they both have comic books, ebooks, and audiobooks, okay? All on an app. The thing about Hoopla and Libby is that they're all connected. They're both connected to your library card. So if you can't find a book in the library itself, you go to either Hoopla or Libby. Sometimes, though, with Libby and Hoopla, even though, yes, they're both connected through the same library card for me personally, if I really want to read a book and I go onto Hoopla and I don't see the book there on Hoopla, I just go to Libby and I find it, right? Or sometimes it's reversed. What I do like about Libby is the fact that it notifies, you have the option of being notified for any books that are not in the system yet, or at least that's what my library allows me to do, right? The thing about Hoopla, though, is that it only allows you to borrow 7 books a month, so be careful with that. 3, secondhand stores and thrift stores. I'm pretty sure we've all heard this before. They're cheaper instantly. And they're really good, especially if you want a classic novel, right? The most popular books to buy from a thrift store, you look it up, is classic literature. On top of that, too, you save 50% more than if you were to, go to an actual bookstore and buy those books. And I don't just mean, going into, a regular thrift store and your hometown or whatever in your area. Like you could go to thriftbooks.com, Book Depository, like those places, online booksellers that are bookstores.
We're just gonna act like I
You
didn't
know,
just say that.
they're cheap. You can even go on, if you want to use Amazon, go on Amazon, select used, right? Cheaper. There you go. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg for the latest edition of a freaking novel. Number 4, giveaways. Now, with giveaways, I totally understand if you're like iffy about them. And my advice when it comes to giveaways is to look into them, talk to anyone who has entered said giveaways, and see the lighting changing, whatever, and see if they've actually won or if they know someone who's actually won. Like, don't just talk to the creator of the giveaway or like the people, like the publishers or the author who's running the giveaway. Actually, talk to the people who've won something from that giveaway. Okay, I've won 2 giveaways. One was for a middle grade book, another one was for a fantasy novel. The middle grade book was okay. The fantasy novel I didn't really get to finish because I wasn't really feeling it, but it was all like during like, the panorama. So yeah, I've won books before via giveaways. The thing about giveaways is that like it all depends on where you're doing it. If you're gonna do it via Instagram or any other social media, they usually want you to tag some friends or follow the author and like the creator and like the publishers and all that. So if you don't want to do all that, I don't think you should do giveaways. But if you don't want to do like via social media, another thing you can do is do it like via social media. Another thing you can do is sign up for newsletters. I know some authors and some publishers have newsletters that you can sign up for, and they will inform you about latest publishing releases, all that stuff, including giveaways. Also, Storygraph and Goodreads, they do giveaways, whether it be ebooks, audiobooks, physical copies, they do giveaways. So, yeah, try that. Last but not least, simple. Easier said than done, actually. Think before you buy. Think before you buy. It seems as if, in general, we have an overconsumption problem. It's like, especially in this generation. And studies have shown that this generation, Gen Z, because I'm Gen Z as well, I know. We buy a lot of stuff. We overconsume. And it's not good. Some of us think it's cute and quirky, but it's not. It's actually not good at all. It's not good. You got bills to pay, babe. Stop overbuying stuff. It's not good. But when it comes to books, from what I've observed, it seems as if people just buy books sometimes just because they're popular. Right? And I understand wanting to read a popular book. That's understandable. But do you have to go out and buy it at full price? No. Because what if you don't like that book? What if you don't like it, right? And also, like, the whole thing with, like, for example, there are people on Book Talk who would, talk about these, like, outrageous storylines and plots for these novels that they're writing, and people would buy these novels, and they end up disliking these books. But then they're like, well, I'm stuck with the book now, which they aren't. They could just give it away. But, like, you spent money on a book you don't even like. So my advice to people within this advice is of think before you buy is if you're going to go and buy a book, right? Let's say you're in the bookstore and you see the book sitting right there. You pick it up and you're like, oh, I've always wanted this book. This is like the latest copy of the book that I've always wanted. I don't fucking know. I can't think of a random name of a book. I don't know. Right? You turn the book over and you see the price. The price is like what? $29.99. That's a lot of money. Plus tax. That's a lot of freaking money, right? You look at it and you're like, that's expensive. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the book down and you're going to search Book Depository, thrift books, even go on Amazon if you must and look for used books and see if that book is there. And I promise you will get that book cheaper. I promise you will get that book cheaper. I promise you will. Or if you see a book that you're on the fence about at the bookstore, right? No, you could do. Go to the library and check that book out and read it, right? And if you really like that book and you want your own physical copy of it, go buy it. At the end of the day, this is just advice that I use personally. You don't have to use this advice. If you want to go off to the bookstore and buy that book full price, go off and do that. Because, like, let's be real here, thrift stores and secondhand bookstores don't really give the author money. That's they don't give the author money at all. But they are a legal way for you to get a book cheaper. Okay? So if you wanna go to the bookstore and buy the books, or if you wanna pay full price for a whole collection of books, that's okay. You do whatever the heck you wanna do. At the end of the day, this is just advice that I have for people who wanna be on a budget and still wanna read a lot. Anyways, that's the video. I'm gonna stop recording because there's been a lot of noise, camera shutting off, and my voice is going away. So yeah, make sure you do something that makes you happy, and I don't know, have a good day, have a good night, or have a good evening. Bye.